Hi, good morning.
Ready to
Ready
get
to
started?
get started?
Are we ready to start?
We are
We are
ready.
ready.
So should we go?
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Do you see? I don't see the live on LinkedIn. That's why I'm a bit puzzled.
Hello, did you call me?
No,
I can't hear myself.
Seems to be
Seems to
a
be a
So I'm not quite sure if we're live, but just in case we're live, let me welcome you because we're already 5 minutes late. That's not exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to be sharp because we have quite a lot on the plate for today. So if anyone sees me or waves at me, I will maybe have a better understanding as if we're live or if we're not live.
But I think we are not live. How are you? This is Camilo. So I'm checking both LinkedIn and YouTube, and I don't see the event live yet. Right. So on both says the event will start soon in LinkedIn, and the other one says waiting solutions for youth employment. And the other one says solutions for youth employment.
I think we're live on YouTube at least. So hi, YouTube. I don't see us live on LinkedIn, which is strange. Good. So in the meantime, let me entertain YouTube because I don't want to let you just stare at me doing nothing on a screen. So let me tell you what we're going to do today. Actually, we have 40 teams that will be pitching over today and tomorrow. So we have 2 times 2 sessions, today and tomorrow, 10 candidates in each session. Let me tell you where those people come from because it's pretty fascinating. Actually, the World Bank initiated during COP28 a big contest for water entrepreneurs that will probably change the world in the future if we help them do so and if the ecosystem aligns. But at the very start of this full story, there were 1,600 teams that registered to be part of that full story. And once that was done, 300 applied. So we were down from 95 countries in the beginning to 63 countries in that second stage, of which the very, very best 40 teams got shortlisted. And that's the final we will see today and tomorrow. These 40 teams which have been shortlisted to be part of an accelerator starting anytime soon after those pitch events, which will then last for 6 months until October. And by October, they will have get some exposure to what it means to be a water entrepreneur, how to further develop what they're doing, refining their business model, finding partners and everything. But maybe one super important thing to mention here is that those people are not alone on that road because they will be mentored by some CEOs, which are pretty easy to spot. They are the jury of today's event. So if you see our panelists today, which will be listening to those 10 pitches, those are the same people that will then be together with our finalists and help them craft and further develop the path of their companies. With that being said, it would be about time to go to our first pitch, and our first pitching company is Elsian Agro. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that terribly, but that would be the first on our list. So far, if you're on YouTube, you see us. If you're on LinkedIn, I'm not sure if you see us. So I'm just going to double check that one because we want to have a full experience for everybody.
By the way, Walter, you pronounce it correctly. It's Elsian Agro.
Thanks a lot. Where, in the meantime, let's have a bit of chit chat. Where are you from? Maybe shortly introduce yourself.
Yeah, of course. I'm the managing director from the Elsian Agro, and we have our other team members also on the call as well. So we are based in Sri Lanka, and then again, we are actually about to expand it to other countries as well. We are in the process of incorporation in Malta as well.
So let me just give the rules for the benefit of everyone. You will have 3 minutes to pitch your company, your concept, everything. We will have then 7 minutes where the judges will have the opportunity to discuss with you. Well, I'll be moderating that discussion if needed, but the judges will be very free to enter the conversation and discuss directly with you. Once your 10 minutes are over, we switch to the next team. We go through the 10 teams, and at the very end, we will have a bit of interaction and panel with everybody. And we will also have the opportunity for the public to give their voice. We have the People Choice Award where you can vote and rank your top 3 teams. And it will be pretty informal, but we will give that prize out at the end of the session of who's the public's favorite. That being said, let me add a little bit of detail on that, which is that you've all recorded an elevator pitch. So the judges have seen your elevator pitch. I've also seen the elevator pitches, and by the way, they are very good. So I'm super, super pumped up about seeing all of that unfold live now. And I think that's enough talk from me for now. I'll leave you the scene. So the scene is yours. You've got 3 minutes. At the end of the 3 minutes, I'm just stopping you if needed. If not, we move to the jury's interaction. So I guess the scene is yours.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Okay, super. I'll start my session. So greetings, everyone. I'm Milan Dananda from Elsian Agro. Back in 2021, Sri Lanka went through its worst agricultural collapse, dropping agricultural production over 54%. During that challenging time, our team reached over 60,000 farmers and tried to identify their burning problems. We noticed that water management, especially for hydroponics, aquaponics, and greenhouse systems, can be challenging. Most marginalized and small-scale farmers with regular farmlands were having difficulties in adapting to drastic climate change and utilizing limited resources such as water and liquidized fertilizers at an optimum level. To address this, we are introducing a smart water control device. It's like a multitasking wizard for water usage, customizable for different farming methods, whether you are into aquaponics, hydroponics, greenhouse farming, or traditional on land farming. This device is designed to help you. Powered by AI-driven, user-friendly web and mobile applications, and along with our IoT devices, our integrated systems help farmers to optimize water usage, identify the quality of water, quality of liquidized fertilizers, increase crop yield, and reduce irrigation cost. It's incredibly easy to use with or without internet connectivity and offers 3 modes of power supply from direct current, batteries, and inbuilt solar charging. This device can control up to 8 water zones or liquid fertilizer areas. Our smart water control system is also equipped with multi-parameter water quality IoT devices that can measure up to 8 parameters of water quality and 10 parameters of soil and atmospheric elements simultaneously. It even features an automatic cleaning device to keep the sense surface clean, preventing the build-up microorganisms and reducing maintenance cost. So you can utilize your water and liquidized fertilizers as you need and exactly how your planted crop types require. With our team's diverse skills and backgrounds, along with an experienced advisory panel, we are here to produce an integrated solution for better water management. Our affiliates and partnered organizations are supporting us on a daily basis for our continuous progress. Thank you.
Thanks for the great presentation. Dear judges, the scene is yours. Do you have a question for the team on scene? Who wants to go first?
I can.
You can. Alexi.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Lilian. Leland. Yeah, nice presentation. So what's the progress so far? How many of these systems have you deployed, and have you received any results?
Yeah, actually, we have done successful pilot runs, more than in 10 farmlands, and we are currently developing 2 demonstrating sites in 2 locations in Sri Lanka with full integration of IoT devices, web and mobile applications, and our IoT devices as well. So, yeah.
What's the feedback been like?
Oh, feedback is marvelous. We have use this our overall solutions for more than 20 crop types, and the least amount of crop yield increasement was 7%, and we could increase the crop yield more than 15% so far with the 20 selected crop types. And then again, when it comes to irrigation cost reduction, it is more than 15%. So testimonials were being great with the potential consumers, and then they also have been paid for us during our pilot runs.
Thank you, Leon. It was a great presentation, and the idea is just fantastic. Question is about the data management that you are doing. So, with all the data that is being collected by the devices, are you trying to do some sort of analysis that would inform, for example, the future customers? You would not only provide the service of that the device does by mixing or providing the fertilizer, but are you doing some sort of data analytics with that? And if you are not, is that in your plans? Thank you, Lina.
Yeah, it's a great question. So the thing is, we have our own IoT devices developed by ourselves. We collect data, and then again, we have our own web and mobile applications as well, driven by artificial intelligence. So we do data analysis, but at the same time, one of our unique value proposition is that we are providing tailored solutions for customers. So the farmers can, if they are not in too much of advanced technology, they can literally use our IoT devices to measure their lands, or else they can get into more integrated version of IoT, AI, and then again automation, irrigation, and all. Yes.
Lilian, that was a really good presentation, and it's a really wonderful idea to use a smart agriculture tool. I had 2 questions. One, how much does it cost a farmer to buy this kind of product from you? And secondly, I don't know whether you said it and I missed it, but what if I've bought this device from you? You did mention the increase in agricultural productivity, but what I didn't catch was, does it reduce the input of water? How much does it reduce? You said better water management, but I didn't catch how much does it go down in terms of water consumption?
Got it. So when it comes to the first question, could you please repeat the first question, please? I just got distracted. Sorry.
How much does it cost a farmer?
Yeah, so it actually really depend on the customer's requirement. As I mentioned earlier, we provide tailored solutions. So let's say, for an example, the farmer only wants to measure their soil elements, let's say moisture level, NPK levels and all, but without getting into other atmospheric elements, their rates would be way more lower than the whole solution. So the most of the full integrated solution, they have to pay for subscriptions for our web and mobile application. And then again, for IoT devices, they have to pay with the selling price. So when it comes to the all together IoT device, it will cost about $350 to $500. But the thing is, farmers can choose what kind of elements, what kind of devices that they want to use for the integration, and they can proceed accordingly. For the second question, when it comes to the crop yield, we have piloted with 20 crop types so far. So as I mentioned earlier, the least amount of crop yield increasement was 7%, and it went to more than 10%. So when it comes to the irrigation, so we also measure the quality of the water levels as well. We measure 8 parameters of the water quality. So the thing was, we can when it comes to cost cutting, we can reduce irrigation related costs up to more than 10%. So ultimately, it will going to impact on the profitability of the farm as well.
Any more questions from the jury?
Okay, if there's a little bit of time, Antoine, can I go next? Can I go again?
You can go.
There's no other member of the jury. Lillian, have you heard of the Microsoft Farm Beats toolkit, which is sort of, have you heard of it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure that you're aware that there are similar other initiatives which may not be exactly like what you have, but they're also, I mean, I think the idea is to use an IoT kind of a system. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the thing was, as I mentioned on the pitch as well, we have a well knowledge about our context in Sri Lanka. We reach more than 60,000 farmers in Sri Lanka in order to identify their problems. So we have created our own IoT devices according to their requirement. So there are solutions in the worldwide, a lot of startups getting into agriculture sector. But when it comes to our IoT devices are patent pending as well. So we are getting to the industry with our unique value proposition, providing tailored solution for the consumers in Sri Lanka.
Well, I think, Leland, that was a very good presentation. Thanks a lot. We're at the end of your time slot. So just for the one in the public, so that was Leland from the team of LGN Agro. Just keep the name in mind, because that's going to be tricky when you will be voting at the end, because you will hear 9 more pitches, but I think it deserves not to be forgotten. But now is the time to move to our second pitch, and that a pitch from WaterKit Wallet. Who is the speaker of the team?
I am here, Dennis Ogwang.
Hi, Dennis. Good to meet you in person. I mean, through the screen, but after seeing your pitch, you're still in a lush background, so that's pretty cool. The scene is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you, Walter. Thank you, everyone. I'm Dennis Ogwang. I'm the founder and the CEO of WaterKit. At WaterKit, we are trying to actually fix the aging water systems in Uganda by providing actually sustainable financing using actually a technology that we have summarized it as the WaterKit Wallet. Just for starters, those who may not have a full brief about Uganda's water ecosystem, it would be better for you to understand how the country as a whole is struggling and communities are actually struggling to maintain actually these aging water systems. Uganda, in some districts, you find the functionality of the water system actually is as low as below 40%, and it goes up to about 75% for actually best performing districts. And this is no longer good for our communities who have to sometimes walk long distances in the event of a system breakdown. I'm talking about the hand pumps. I'm talking about actually the aging tap water systems, mini grids in the rural villages. So as WaterKit, we set out actually in 2019 to try to find actually a solution that would help address this. And we built a mobile application that would help communities quickly report a breakdown whenever there was an occurrence. So we are getting this data like real time. But then we came down to actually with a lot of data that we are sharing with the development partners, and everyone was just watching and not taking the right action, including the local government. So we actually had to dig deeper to understand what the actual problem was, why these water systems were breaking down and would take weeks, months without being fixed and leave communities to suffer. So we found actually out that the only problem that was actually, stopping communities and the local governments from maintaining these water sources effectively, including development partners, was actually lack of reliable financing option Even banks are not actually offering this credit so easily because they don't have the collateral, for example, if it's a community water source. So we thought of how can we change this? So we came up with WaterKit Wallet, the simple mobile money powered digital wallet that we are actually using to help to actually co-fund actually the repair and maintenance of these community water systems in the event of a breakdown. And the wallet is not only for community contribution, but also is open to any donor that would want to donate directly to fix a water source. So it's an open system that we think can bridge the gap of financing, actually the management and operation of these water systems. And we believe this can actually be diversified to actually fit in so many other contexts. Like, for example, we're already currently piloting with actually connecting households to tap water in Bidibidi refugee camp with the support of World Food Program. And we are seeing great success already going forward. And in the next 1 year, we shall actually be able to connect at least 1,000 refugee families, which is a big success for us. And we are all out here looking for the right mentorship, right partnership, and welcoming anyone who is willing to work together with us. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for the pitch, Dennis. I open the floor to the jury. Who wants to go first?
Happy to. Oh,
Alexi, again.
I'm
That's a good habit.
Yeah, hi, Dennis. So if I understood correctly, it's basically what you're giving is like a card that people would prepay or postpay. And over time, you're getting some kind of informal credit understanding of the person that you can ramp in services. And this is specifically for addressing water. Is that a good summary?
There's a good summary. And to add to that, we are providing this actually in terms of the zero interest credit model. So it's more of social impact than just profit. Yeah.
So are you also providing the water kits or is that how is that connected to the actual water? Can you explain?
Okay, to the actual water, actually we have a team of ambassadors who are actually, some of them are trained mechanics who are offering the actual repair service, mostly the youth. And for some other households that, for example, need water purification products and services, we are actually also in the process of pushing some of these products that would otherwise be actually very expensive and unaffordable for them, so they can actually be in position to acquire some of these, for example, water filters on a buy now, pay later kind of model.
I think Camilo is also wanting to raise you some questions. Camilo?
Thank you, Dennis. This was a great presentation and a great idea. Just to for the clarification, Dennis. So, is this meant, or the platform or the system is meant to be managed by the water utility, or is there a water council, or who is the one that is managing the system, and I guess the funds that are going to be coming as part of this platform?
Actually, we are the ones actually managing the platform. For every facility, we just enroll them, then they're given a unique wallet ID that they actually use to transact with us. But everything is managed by us, and we're now partnering with the Ministry of Water and Environment and other government agencies to see how they can also, be onboarded as stakeholders onto the platform.
So, for the question, are there funds involved in all these transactions? There's money involved in these transactions?
Yes, there's money. We're already regulated, and because they have to make transfers, for example, from their mobile money wallet to our platform, that is like a prepaid kind of service. So tomorrow they have some budget on their wallet in the event of a breakdown, for example. We're able to see that, okay, you have this X amount of dollar, but according to our assessment of what you need in order to fix the system that has broken down, you need this X amount of dollars. Let's say $10 on their wallet, and they need maybe $20. We're able to provide the $20, and they just keep collecting that money on installment for a period of 6 months, maybe to 12 months, depending on the arrangement with them.
And then the last question could become as a suggestion as well. Do you have any sort of auditing of the funds, are making sure that the funds are being managed properly?
Well, we don't hold this in our own bank accounts. We work with the telecommunication partners, MTA, aggregate this. So it's a whole mobile money kind of system built on top of already existing infrastructure. So we don't keep the money by ourselves. So we would also want to avoid that risk. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thank you, Camilo. I think we have a question from Nathan. We are still together 1.5 hours, so correct me if I butcher your name.
Nathan is perfect.
Okay.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi, Dennis. Thank you for the presentation. I had a question. Like, suppose I'm part of a family that lives a little bit far from a well, and I would like to use your system to have better access to water. Can you walk me through the steps to actually get access to water thanks to your system?
Thank you. There are two scenarios. One, we're moving actually into creation of mini grids. For those who would want to have the connection directly, put on the compound, those who are actually closer to the for example, a mini grid, those in the suburbs, you're able to actually apply for a wallet from us. And how do we get to now make you benefit? You apply for actually a connection loan, which is at 0 interest from us. And we actually do the whole connection process, and we connect your family. If the cost is, let's say, $50, we structure that payment over a period of, let's say, 1 year, depending on how flexible that is for you. So that already through a wallet, you're connected to a tap water system. That if, for example, it's an area where people are still using actually community point water sources, meaning hand pumps. Uganda, there's still a principal framework that we're working with, that every household is supposed to contribute a certain amount of fee for operation and maintenance of these community water points. So they still connect as a water point and put actually on the same wallet. So tomorrow, if there's a breakdown, we are still able to respond and fix the community water point. That serves actually for the greater community that is using that water source. So the water source is functional, and you as a family is also benefiting and having constant flow of water. The distance could be a little bit longer for some families, but we want to keep this water functional. Yeah.
Thank you.
Alex, if you can do it in 10 seconds, the scene is yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Dennis. I get the idea of connecting people with water issues with service providers and parts. What I'm struggling with is the card. Why the card?
Well, the card, when we first thought about it, we just created actually numbers for people like, oh, this is your account number. And we realized it wasn't enough because most people were actually now walking into some other authorized stores with just random numbers. We are like, you walk into that store. If, for example, we want to get a water filter from one of our authorized stores, present this card and you'll swipe the card or dial the code and enter your wallet ID. So we're able to verify that it's you transacting actually with us, not another person with your random number. Yeah.
Good. Thanks.
We're running out of time. Dennis, thanks a lot for the great presentation. Again, if you're watching this and you want to remember Dennis from WaterKit, that's the vote you will have to give at the end. If you're joining us just right now, a short reminder about what we're doing right now. We're in the middle of the pitches. See you later, Dennis. We have 8 pitches to go. And we will, at the end of this session, give you a People's Choice Award. And all those people will be ranked by our jury. And then we switch the jury and we move to the next series of 10. Without further ado, we go to our third pitch for today. And that's a pitch from Safe Sip Straws. Who's our speaker?
I am. Hi, everyone.
The scene is yours. Go on.
Thank you, Anton. Okay, hello. I'm Faith Kuya, the CEO and co-founder of Safe Sip Straws. I still remember the day my young neighbor Hadija was hospitalized for the 5th time due to the waterborne disease. It was a wake-up call that changed my life's purpose. Growing up in rural Tanzania, I watched as Hadija's bright smile faded, replaced by a constant fatigue and weakness. Her family's struggles to afford medical care weighed heavily on my heart. Contaminated water sources are breeding grounds for deadly diseases, stealing the future of children like Hadija. 844 million people worldwide lack access to clean water, and 300,000 children under the age of 5 die every year from waterborne diseases. In Africa alone, 319 million people rely on contaminated water sources, and 1 in 9 children die before their 5th birthday due to preventable waterborne illnesses. That's why I co-founded Safe Sip Straws, an affordable, sustainable solution to provide clean water anytime, anywhere. Our patented pending 3-stage filtration system is a game changer, removing 99.99% of harmful pathogens and making safe drinking water accessible anywhere, anytime. Yeah, so this is our straw. Okay, and we use recycled ocean plastics to create these life-saving straws, tackling the plastic pollution crisis as well. Our straws are affordable, priced at $5, and can save families up to $85 per year on bottled water costs. In just 2 years, Safe Sip Straws has already reached over 5,000 rural children, keeping them healthy and in school. With Safe Sip Straws, Hadijas and thousands of children like her can now attend school regularly, free from the burden of waterborne diseases. They can grow up and to be healthy, educated, and empowered individuals who can break the cycle of poverty. The Safe Sip Straws is led by Faith Queer I, the CEO, with a background in manufacturing. Constantine Edward, the COO, focuses on business development. Winnie Matthew in marketing, and Hellman specializes in design. Together, we bring a diverse range of expertise to drive the success of Safe Sip Straws. By 2028, we aim to provide access to safe water for 1 million people and remove 25,000 metric tons of plastics from the ocean. Together, we can ensure that every child has access to safe drinking water, no matter where they live or go to school. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the great presentation. Which judge want to go first? I don't see any hand raised for now, but I'm sure you will get a first question from Alexi. We keep the habit.
Hey, really nice presentation. So just on the product, so if you could answer a couple of questions. First one is, where are you doing the manufacturing? How is you're getting ocean plastic? So what is the source of that and how are you verifying that? And also, what kind of margin are you working to now, roughly? And what's, let's say you're doing 100,000 units, what would be the margin change then?
Okay.
Sorry, a lot of questions.
It's fine. Thank you, Alexi. So starting with the manufacturing first, we are having partnership with a company in China. It's called Hyundai H&H Tech, which is helping us in manufacturing because we already we have our model. So we give them that, they help us in manufacturing because for us, because we're still in small scale, for us, it's a best costful. So we are partnering with them. They're helping us to manufacture, then they send them back to us. And that's where we started distribution in Tanzania. But also in our margins, first we sell our product by $5. Each straw is $5, of which 60% is our cost of production and 40% is our profit margin. Yeah, I think I've answered your question, right?
And if you did 100,000 units, what would your margin look like?
Okay, it will be almost 500,000. 500,000 will be our revenue, and 300,000 of it will be our profit, and 200 is our cost of production.
Nathan?
Yes,
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
I didn't answer Alexi on about ocean plastics, right? Yeah, so the plastic used in Safe Sip Straws is sourced from recycled ocean plastics. This approach not only helps us to reduce plastic waste, but also contribute to cleaning up the oceans and protecting marine life. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the great presentation. Actually, my first question was exactly Alexi's question on where the manufacturing was taking place. The second thing I was really impressed with is how quickly you were able to reach 5,000 people in less than 2 years. Could you explain us how you did it?
Okay, thank you, Nathan. First, we work with local communities, most of the local communities who are our beneficiaries, the rural children, but partnering with various organizations, NGOs, and various community leaders in different communities, they are the ones who are helping us to easily access many people. Yeah, because mostly in Tanzania, we have many rural communities who are mostly illiterate. So for us, it's easier to access to them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jairo has a question.
Hi. So it was a great presentation, and I think this is a very neat idea. I really like it. My first question is there any consumable? Is I saw you change a filter or something in there once it sometimes happens, or it's just like a closed system that when it breaks or it stops working, you have to find a new one? And the second one is, don't you see an opportunity in developed markets? I do think that there are many parts in the US where this may be very well sold, and you can find a lot of customers there. So do you see an opportunity, not only aiming for your country and parts of Africa, but other developed countries?
Yeah, thank you, Gerald. First, our product, it's long-lasting and durable. It can last up to 5 years. And yes, of course, in the future, we hope to partner with various organizations and venture outside market, just not only in Tanzania, but also in other countries.
Namita, Camilo, I'll have to pick only one of you. So who wants to go first? The first to speak wins. Or you're polite now.
You go ahead, Camilo.
All right, thank you, Namita. So thank you so much for the presentation and sharing the idea is great. I mean, the question is what type of about the device itself, what type of maintenance you need to do to the device. So if I guess that if the intake is polluted or has a lot of sediment, is going to clog rather soon. So what type of maintenance you need to perform to the device? And the second one, is there any opportunity to use the same type of technology which was not described to upscale the device? So instead of having it for one person as a straw, having it for a family, trying to increase the amount of water that is treated? Over, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Camilo. Firstly, pardon, I didn't get the first question.
It's about the maintenance. Yeah, how do you clean it up if it gets clogged, for example?
Okay. So the maintenance of this straw, it's written in the product. We are having a guideline of how to clean it, and it's just easy. It's a normal cleaning that it's done. It's just cleaning outside because having inside, you are not cleaning it on the inside, because on the inside is where we're having the 3 filtration layers, but you're just cleaning it on the outside and on the back, of which we can insert maybe in bottles or in various places. So we are just cleaning it in a normal way.
I fear we're running out of time, so I will have to cut it. But it was super great presentation. So third team safe strip, if you want a safe sip, sorry, if you want to remember that one for the voting at the end. And we're moving to team number 4, which is Solar GG Technologies. And here I'm absolutely sure I'm butchering that name. So please correct. I'm sure it's not GG, it must be something different. You'll have the opportunity to introduce yourself much better than what I just did. Who's the speaker? Or did I pronounce it so bad so you don't even recognize whose team is on? Do we have a hint as to who should be joining us on scene? If not, I would propose to move to the next one if maybe Superyo is already in the room, and we'll come back to number 4.
Yeah, I'm already in online. It's from Shupio Easy Sense.
Okay, so you're the saver. So please welcome on scene. Take 30 seconds to groom and prepare yourself, because you were not supposed to be already there. And if you're ready, the scene is yours.
I'm ready. Yeah, I can go start. So if you give me the permission, I can start.
You are on scene.
Yeah. Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Rohan. I'm the founder of EasySense based in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Today I'm here to share with you a story of hope, resilience, and transformation. Imagine a young woman named Amina who lives in a coastal village of Bangladesh have to walk miles to fetch clean water because her pond, once full of life, now gives only salty water that makes her family sick because this and saline water has a very negative impact on her reproductive health. This isn't just a Amina's story. It's the story of 42 million people in Bangladesh 19 coastal districts. Rising sea levels, cyclones, and saltwater intrusion caused by climate change have stolen something important from them, that is clean drinking water. UNDP reports that 73% coastal residents are forced to consume dangerously salty water, exceeding safe levels by 14 times. Even rainwater owns their lifeline is scarce due to climate change, and then collecting it is very expensive right now due to high price of the material. Shupio comes to solve this as a beacon of hope. Powered by solar energy, Shupio's water treatment plant stood as a protector against salinity. IoT technology ensured water quality, and electric vans swiftly delivered water in last mile to ensure affordable access to safe drinking water for vulnerable coastal population. The demand for safe water in coastal Bangladesh is huge because the serviceable market size is $87 million, and our business model is robust as we generate 10% profit from each liter of water we sold, and from selling water treatment system, we make a profit of 20%. Don't say we are only operating in this market, but clean water anytime, anywhere, we made it freely. We adapt tech to treat even salty seawater, empower locals to run the show, and educated communities about hygiene. From the beginning of our journey, we focused in 5 simple things. That is, promoting local water entrepreneurship, reduction of water price, last mile water connectivity, build on proprietary water treatment tech, and use of green energy. And this will differentiate us from others in the long run. Our impact speaks volumes. We have already installed 1 solar water power treatment plant and providing clean water to 2,000 coastal inhabitants every single day, and made a revenue of 30,000 in the past 12 months. EasySense has been working with Frontier Technology since 2018. We have a balanced team that expertise in project management, engineering, and business development, etc. And we serve notable clients like UNDP, GIZ, UNICEF, and Swiss Contact. Shupio is more than just water. It's a song of hope whispered in the wind. So join us in this journey of transformation. Together, let's bring Shupio to every coastal village, to every Amina yearning for a sip of hope. Thank you.
Awesome pitch, well prepared, because you could jump in and still deliver. So thanks a lot for that. Who wants to be the first judge to raise question to Rohan? Alexi, I'll stop asking. I'll just give you the microphone.
No, let's get the show on the road, right? So Rohan, nice one. I wasn't 100% clear. You're doing RO, seawater RO?
Yeah, more likely particularly we are using 3 sources of water. We're using rainwater, we're using groundwater, and we're using seawater. Because and we using brackish and seawater RO from Flimtech. So, and during the time of monsoon, we don't treat the seawater. We're just using the rainwater and pre-treatment that and deliver to water. This way, the RO filter life is increasing. This is the one thing. And second thing, we're using some separate scaling technology so that the RO membrane just doesn't block in a simple times. So that's why we are right now using our treatment.
Okay, and are you making the RO systems? You're buying them, or what's the model actually?
So the whole RO system is built by us. We are just procuring the RO filter from the Flimtech. And when we are procuring, we are giving them our required spec that we need this amount of because the local needs is local TDS is too high, because the problem in Bangladesh coastal area is when we are started working with the raw water TDS was 10,000, and after 6 months the raw water TDS is increasing 20,000. So we give them the idea that we need this specific filter, not the ready one.
Just before, sorry, Alexia, just because we have Namita and Nathan waiting to ask a question, I just want to clarify something because I'm not sure I understood that. You said 10% benefit from each liter you produce. did I catch that one wrong, or how does that work?
Don't understand your question.
Okay, so maybe I catch that one. From your pitch, I understood that 10% were benefiting from each liter you produce, and I'm not sure how.
We are making 10% profit. Suppose we are selling 1 liter of water, and we make a profit of 10% from each liter of water we sell. And another selling model is we sell the whole technology to government or NGO or any other third party. By selling the treatment system, we're making a profit of 20%.
My bad. Really sorry. Nathan, you go next.
Yeah, thanks, Rohan, for the great presentation. So, quick question. So, imagine I'm someone who wants to use your tech. Can you walk me through the steps? How much do I pay? How long do I wait before I can start using your system? Do I need maintenance? How does this work?
So all our plants right now is managed by us through our local water entrepreneur. Suppose we select a place in the coastal area, we pair up with a water entrepreneur. The water entrepreneur build the infrastructure, the civil infrastructure, and we giving a profit of 15 to 20% to them every time they're selling the water. So after that, we install everything there, and we train the water entrepreneur that this is way how you will maintain everything. And we already install IoT system there, so we know what's the water quality and how the system is performing. So if there any maintenance needed, our field teams go to the plant and then maintenance it every 1 or 2 months after. This is one thing, that how everything is maintained. And as a user, if you want to purchase water from us, you can purchase water in 2 ways. Suppose our water treatment plant work as a hub. Suppose some people lives in between 2 kilometers, they comes to our hub and through a RFID card, they purchase water anytime because no need to vend it manually. So there is a vending system, the RFID card they using, and the RFID card they easily recharge through mobile money. So there is a popular MFS in Bangladesh, you know about bKash. So through bKash they can recharge and collect the water. And some people's living 10 to 15 kilometers long distance from our hub. So we distributed this water through a electric delivery van, and this electric delivery van also a vending system. So the families who are living in the 10 to 15 kilometers long distance, they also have a RFID card. So when the car is reach their house, through this card, they can collect water. So this is how everything is happening right now.
Okay, so it's pretty extensive infrastructure you have for this.
Yeah, we've corely focused on the water treatment. We've set up big treatment system, one physical way, because the coastal area is very vulnerable because of disaster, and we morely focus on the distribution. So when we distribute lot water in the long distance, we can serve more consumers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. A last question for you from Snehal.
Hi, Rohan. Thank you so much. Wonderful presentation. Quick question. Are you also looking at problems such as arsenic or fluoride, which is pretty prevalent in Dhaka and other parts?
Yeah, particularly as we are working since 2018, and we also have some our different donors. So our R&D team also working with a portable filter for particularly disaster times to treatment the flood water without any power. And also our RO system has a pre-treatment system, which pre-treatment system can easily treat the arsenic water, because the coastal area also the arsenic problem. So right now our water treatment technology is separate in 2 parts. So there is a first pre-treatment. So the pre-treatment reduces the hardness, arsenic, iron, and other remedies. Then it's passed through our RO system. The salt is removed. So we already have.
Okay, thank you. Can you tell me how many kiloliters per day or million liters per day the system is able to process right now?
Okay, so this is right now we only particularly have 1 plant, and we started it as a pilot. So right now it can produce up to 12,000 liters of water every day, but it's have a capacity of producing 20,000 liters. But we producing 12,000 liters so that we can reduce the maintenance cost. This is the one thing. And secondly, we already planning to set up our next plant by December. That will have a capacity of around 20 to 30,000 liters of everyday single of water.
Okay, thank you.
And we can increase it and decrease it as per you want.
Well, Ron, again, super cool from you, because you jumped in and you nailed it. I'm not the judge. I can just say that the judges have to be objective. I can thank you because you saved me from a 10-minute monologue. So thanks a lot for that. For
Yeah.
everybody, Ron from SuperYo is our team number 5. I'll give a chance to our team number 4 in case they reappeared in the chat. I know that sometimes connection issues can happen. So if someone from SoloGigi is here, SoloGigi Technologies, and wants to correct me on the way to pronounce SoloGigi, I would be super happy because I might be butchering that name for now 10 minutes. If not, just raise your hand when you're back in the room and I'll bring you back into the list of people to pitch. And I propose you to switch to our pitch number 6, the pitch from OMSAT Technologies. And I'll welcome our speaker.
Yes. Yeah. Namaste. At OMSAT, we are a remote groundwater monitoring system focused on reducing the uncertainties of farmers and helping them optimize their energy, water use efficiency, and economical losses associated with irrigation, with high precision and 75% reduced cost logistically and economically. We are a team of scientists, engineers, and big thinkers passionate about making ideas accessible and actionable. Having been trained by ISRO, NASA, UNOSA, Google, and Harvard School of Design, our consistent foundations are built on precision, innovation, and trust. Did you know 3 out of 5 farmers in the Marathwada region of Maharashtra are facing severe water crisis? This water crisis has led to a food crisis, which in turn has triggered a massive migrational crisis. As the population of Marathwada is predicted to reach 25 million by the year 2030, every drop per crop will count. By using advanced earth imaging techniques, we monitor the changes happening in the groundwater levels. That is an indication of the overexploitation of groundwater resources taking place in a specific area. In turn, it ensures judicious usage of water to the smallholder farmers. We are different because we are protected by 21 intellectual properties, including the water credits that are issued to farmers to incentivize them towards promoting aquifer source sustainability mechanisms. Our notable clients since 2019 have helped us to scan 44,000 hectares of land, create 3,800 water points, and benefit thousands of smallholder farmer families. So the notable clients include Asian Development Bank, PUB Singapore, World Food Program, United Nations, Selco Foundation, ICICI Foundation, and many more. Hunger, poverty, farmer suicides are on a rise in India again. By supporting OMSAT's innovation with $1 million will improve the basic socio-economical water supply and demand and ensure 55 liters of minimum water to every rural Indian household by the year 2026. Come, join us in making the groundwater infrastructure of India resilient and sustainable. Thank you.
Awesome pitch. Let's just a minute to our jury to raise their hands. If I don't see any hands this time, I'm not going to Alexei. I see a hand. Camilo, the scene is yours.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Just to clarify, what is exactly the product that you offer? Is it besides the scanning and identifying where the aquifer is or where it would be viable to exploit groundwater? Do you also provide the service of building the boreholes, or is it about the infrastructure to pump up the water? So what is exactly the service or the idea that you provide?
So thank you, sir. So basically, the aquifer value chain is consisting the services that we provide are divided into 4 phases. First is developing a mechanism to help the farmers create recharge sites through satellite-based observations. That is where to construct the recharge sites and then incentivize the farmers through water credits by the amount of liters of water that is saved by the creating of such kind of recharge sites. Second is monitoring groundwater exploitation using radar-based synthetic aperture radar interferometry. Third is finding groundwater location using L-band radar polarimetry. And fourth is creating of solar site suitability. That is, as we believe that energy and water is a nexus that is together. So we have 4 mechanisms together. Even we have other patented technologies include, this is another water treatment technology. So this is consisting of 3 patents that are created together. Here you have hydrocavitation, here you have ion exchange, and here you have magnetocatalytics to create water. So we are in a comprehensive water end-to-end solution.
That's noted. And do you partner with another firm to do, for example, the civil infrastructure and build the borehole and install the pumps? Do you partner with another firm? Because I understand you are at different points in the chain. You help them identifying where the aquifer is, but later on you also help them on monitoring the water availability. So what happens in between? How do the farmers how do farmers build the borehole?
So traditionally in India, they used to use those twigs and coconuts for aquifer finding, which resulted only in 28% success. So by using our technologies, they can pinpoint the exact location where groundwater is. And the most important point is not to find underground water, but to find the quantity of water that is present below. So if the quantity of water is less than 7,500 liters per hour, then we will not tell them to go for borewell. So once the report is made, then they contact the local borewell providers and they provide the end-to-end services. So we don't go as to the drilling and everything. We are more of a consultancy service.
It's not a thank you.
The next question will come from Fajr.
Thank you. Really nice presentation. I guess my question is more around like the business model that you have envisaged. So you said it's like a consultancy service you provide to your farmers, right? So how would a typical, how do you charge per customer in this case? And is it always going to be like you helping a farmer, let's say, or do you also envision like a B2G model, like a business to government model in the future?
So we are catering to both, like so for example, with World Food Program, United Nations, we are working for the Karbala city along with the Ministry of Water Resources in Iraq. So there we are monitoring the overexploitation of groundwater resources, and this data is given to the government users who do the final legislation work and penalize those people who are doing the overexploitation. So that is one model. Second is, if you are an individual farmer, you come to us and tell that, I want to find water in my field. So we have a pay per acre mechanism where you have to pay around $80 per acre. So that is the cost.
Perfect. Thank you.
We have a question from Alexi.
Actually, less a question. Hit me up, British. I have a very good connection for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I would love to connect with you, sir.
So we have a question from Jairo then.
So first, who you are replacing with this model where you can assess, help the farmer decide where to drill, who you are replacing? How do farmers usually do that now? That will be the first one. And the second one is about precision. How precise are you guys? How much detail you can determine the level of water available in that specific location?
So from the satellite-based analytics, we are using the Japanese satellites, which can go the L-band radar, which is having good amount of accuracy up to 60 meters of depth. But in areas where the depth is much greater, we have the mechanisms such as the TEM, transient electromagnetic, that can go deeper levels up to 1500 feet and greater than that. So that is the answer to the questions. And as far as so can you repeat the first question? Sorry, I not able to.
The first question is, who are you replacing? Yeah, yes. Who the farmer goes to when they have to decide where to drill?
So we are replacing those water dowsing people who are going with the twigs and coconuts and unscientific water dowsing techniques that are inaccurate. And even if they find the quantity of water is not something that they are able to calculate. So we calculate the amount of water in the borewell and then only advise the farmer to go for drilling on it, because drilling is a very expensive operation. Yes.
Well, I think we are happening at the we are at the end of the time for you, but I have a stupid question for you. I'm sorry. What is a big thinker? You said you're a team of big thinkers.
Yes, so productly, we want to digitize the groundwater resources in every farmer's field, and then create hydrosocial contracts. That is a mechanism to say a farmer with water and without water. So how to create a win-win situation for them. So we want to now not focus more on technical parameters, but more of the techno-social parameters that will help build a resilient water infrastructure for India.
Namita, you had a question. I'll give you one more minute. We have a bit of time.
No, I really enjoyed listening to you, Ridish. Just a quick question. How big is your team? And secondly, what was the startup capital you needed to start this up?
So we are a team of 30 members now, and honestly, we have not raised any capital, but we have generated revenue of $300,000 completely through the revenue.
Well, banks should be buying your services, Ridish.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
I think you got an offer. That's not part of the event, but yeah, why not? thanks a lot, Radish, for the presentation. So remember the presentation from Radish at the end when you will be able to give the People's Choice Award. And that being said, thanks a lot. We move to the next one, which is AquaTrack Technologies. Again, Sora Gigi, if you're in the room, raise your hand, wave it pretty strong, and I'll bring you back. But for now, AquaTrack, who's the speaker?
I'm here.
And welcome. And the scene is yours.
Thank you so much, Anthony. By the way, I'm the fan of your podcast. I want you to start by imagine a family in Dar es Salaam. A single mother wakes up down, not for work, but for a desperate quest. A quest for a single drop of clean water. Did you know in this city, 40% of treated water, enough to fill over 200 million bathtubs, vanishes before homes? Why? Silent thieves. The leaks in aging pipes steal this life-giving resource. Here at AquaTrack, we fight back. We are not an average plumbers. We are water warriors, wielding the power of the revolutionary water. Our secret weapon, an army of smart IoT sensors that talk to each other, creating a real map of the water network. Imagine an MRI scan, but for water. Pinpoint with pinpoint accuracy. The results are staggering. In just 3 years, AquaTrack has slashed those water loss in Dar es Salaam by 20%. That is not just a number. That is 120 million liters saved per day. Enough to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool every single day. This translates to a direct impact on over 100,000 Dar es Salaam residents, bringing clean water to their homes, improving sanitation, and also fostering 15% reduction in waterborne illnesses. But our impact doesn't end there. A recent study from University of Dar es Salaam indicated that to every $1 invested in AquaTrack, there is $2.50 in return investment. And the reduction loss of water loss lower the treatment for utilities, and also increase economic activity for the business that rely in steady water supply. How do we done this? We have a great team. Our team comprises of, we have Brito Mapunda, Brito Mapunda, the technical expert with 3 years experience in water engineering. Also, we have Debratas Kapilima, our data scientist with 3 years experience from Sokoine University of Agriculture. Also, Abbas Arfan, our business development manager with 3 years experience. Also, we have Edita Mshiu. She is a community engagement specialist with 6 years working with different NGOs. And today we are here as in front of you, asking for your support to join the 6-month Accelerator Program, which will be our engine to scale more impact in our society. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for the pitch. Before I give the voice to the jury, I just have a curiosity question. How do you estimate the water losses in Dar es Salaam? Because you're giving numbers, but usually that's the big thing which nobody really knows.
These estimates are found in Dar es Salaam. We have water utilities companies. We have Dawasa, and in other regions like Moruasa. So these companies are just providing statistics. So when you go there, you just see the statistic, because they are the one who works up hard to identify these leaks, and they just work hard on how to minimize these leaks.
Awesome. Camilo, now for a good question after my shitty one.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Brito, for the pitch. The question is, how do you offer your services? Is it a flat fee or a fixed price for the system, and depending on how many sensors you install on the network, or is it based on the performance that of the service offer, right? So if you say, if I manage to say 10% of the or reduce 10% of the non-revenue water, I should get 2% of that saving. So is it a fixed rate what you offer based on the number of sensors, or is it based on the performance of your system and how much water you're saving for the utility? Thank you.
As I said earlier, we are working with these water utility companies. We are not working with individual customers. So we are using subscription business model by which these water utilities, they may pay maybe yearly or by a month.
Okay, probably a suggestion, Brito, as you move forward, is thinking on offering not just a flat a fee for the service, but is conditioning the payment based on the performance of your system. So you offer them, if I manage to save this amount of water, you would get me this amount, or I would get this share of the savings, right? Instead of having a flat fee. I mean, happy to connect and explain you how this works and how the World Bank is supporting this type of performance-based contracts. So feel free to reach out and we can chat further about that. Over, Anton.
Next one, Nathan, maybe you have a question?
Yeah, Brito, thank you for the presentation. So my question is about the sensors. Maybe you mentioned this in your pitch already and I missed it. Are these acoustic sensors that you have? How do you actually deploy the sensors? Do you install them for a few months, or do you actually send teams with acoustic listening devices to actually listen for the leaks? And how do you report back to the utility?
Thank you, but let me make it clear by telling you how do we done this. The implementation process begins with an initial assessment of the client's water infrastructure and needs once engaged. Aquatrack conduct through site survey to identify key points of sensors placement and network integration. Following this, our team the IoT sensors and develop them strategically throughout the water network.
So these IoT sensors, they work, do you know that, like how, are they listening for sound waves, or they're, how do they actually detect a leak?
Okay, I got it. These IoT sensors are just measure those like water qualities, the average of water passing, and something like that. So if it is different from the first side, we know that there is a leak somewhere.
Ah, okay, so it's a matter of water quality measuring.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I would have time for one more question. I'm going to volunteer someone if you don't volunteer yourself. In between, I have to say, Brito, I'm waiting for the point where you lose your face, because whatever question you get, you have a very straightforward answer, and I would love to be that good at doing that. But yeah, Alexi has a question for you. Let's see if he can.
Yeah. Brito, thank you. Just in like one sentence, can you just explain what it is that you're doing, just super clearly, please?
I didn't get you. Can you come again?
Sorry, I just missed the solution. What are you doing actually? What's your offer?
Okay. What we offer is that how do you identify the leaks in the pipes? How do you identify the leaks? So what we offer is the platform which identify those leaks through using these smart IoT sensors.
Okay, and you're using Sonic technology, or?
We are just formulating a software.
Okay, but what is your input?
Like how?
What data are you getting? Is it sound? Is it flow rate?
Water flows and the quality of the water.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
We have one more minute. I will very actively take someone. Oh, Namita, you have a hand raised. I was going to call you out. Namita, the scene is yours.
I was just curious that the only way to save water is that if you identify the leak and then you take the action to close the leak, right? In your experience, where is the government? How actively is the government responding then? Because plugging the leak is the government's responsibility, correct?
Yes, but for us it's different. For us, we have these water utilities, which are the one who dealing with that. And here they don't have that technology, so that you can meet somewhere there is a leaks, and it takes a month to just prepare to just fix that leaks. That's why we have come with this solution.
But does the government act? How often does the government act on that?
The government acts through these water utilities, and we are working with these water utilities.
I meant the utility only. I meant the water utility. Sorry, I shouldn't have said government. I said, how often does the government, does the water utility act on the information you give them?
I give them the platform and they have the software. So they are the one who see the notification that there is a leak somewhere. So they go first and and fix that leaks.
How often do you find? Can you monitor how often they're responding to that information?
Yes, I can monitor. Even if they don't go, I just send the notification to them.
You didn't answer my question. How often is it?
I didn't get you.
Okay,
How
so
often?
yeah, like out of 100 points of leak, let's say in a day, how often do you find that the government addresses the utility addresses the leak on an average?
They address many leaks through my platform. I didn't get you well. I don't know.
Okay, no, it's okay. I'll let it go.
I see that from the jury, there's a lot of interactions to have with you. So I guess some of it will happen offline. So expect to receive some calls, which is a good sign usually. Thanks a lot for the presentation.
Thank you. I'm also the fan of your podcast. Thank you.
I don't take bribes. I'm sorry, but thanks. I appreciate it. We'll move to our next team, and our next team is potable water supply project for Nyiragongo, DRC. So probably a long team name, but who's the speaker?
I am pleased. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. The scene is yours.
Yes, we are Heaven Company. We are located in DRC, in Afkiv province, in Goma town. You'll know that this is a very problematic province in the world. And we are just working with a new technology in managing water. Now, on May 2023, we came across a little lady who drowned into the lake. You know, the lake is at the south of Goma. And this lady was from Nyiragongo territory. And Nyiragongo is located at about 10 kilometers from the lake. Now, the same day, we had this news about women who were raped on their ways because they were coming to fetch water at the lake. You know, in Nyiragongo is on the foot of Nyiragongo volcano mountain. Then it's a rocky ground area. And there is neither river nor a stream. So we thought of a project to implement tanks in Nyiragongo to bring water near these people so that they may no longer undergo these problems of raping, others are kidnapped on their ways, and these cases of drowning like we have assisted last time. We have judged better to bring water in Nyiragongo so that we finish with all these problems. And I will implement tanks which will be used with some solutions like this. And this will help us to control the quantity of water that has been sold. And so that we can also know how to supply water in these tanks. And the supplying this water, we are going to use tankers. And after, the technology which is used in these tankers is that there is a system, the system of GSM module, which can give an alert, which can give an alarm. It can alert us about the water, the level of water, and how it is going to be used in Nyiragongo. The population of Nyiragongo is more than 700,000 people. And, you know, there are also camps of refugees who need water. There are schools, hospitals, all the problems of the world concerning water are in Nyiragongo. So we think, we know, and we hope by the help of the World Bank, we are going to solve this problem and going to put people in good conditions of getting water. Thank you.
Thanks for the presentation. Just for me to understand it, you said that your faucets have a flow meter inside, which is connected. So it's an IoT faucet. So
You want to know about the percentages of the way that our solutions will be connected?
I just wanted to confirm I understood that right. You know, I'm the stupid guy in the room, so sometimes I'm a bit slower than the judges. That's why they are judges, and I'm the one presenting. Sorry, I didn't want to confuse you. The first question for you comes from Nathan.
Yes, thank you so much for the presentation, Serge. So my question for you is, let's say my family lives in Nyiragongo and we want to access your services. How does it work? How long does it take to build the tank? How much it costs? How much it costs to maintain?
Yeah. You want to know about the price of a tank or the price of a gallon?
The whole
In
process,
Nyiragongo, imagine.
like.
Yeah. Imagine your family is located in Nyiragongo now, and your mother want to get water at our tanks. Okay, a gallon of water costs 200 Congolese francs only. We have put this price so that anybody may have access to water. That they must not think of going and fetch water at the lake. The water will be near them. And this will be in a very short time, because tanks are wherever in Goma. You can need a tank whenever you have got money and you install it. I don't know if I've been clear answering your question, madam.
Okay, so your team actually installs tanks in neighborhoods.
Yes,
and then
we are
people
just
can get them.
Yeah, we're just working on it, and this is an example, a sluice which has got which is
I think Serge is having some connection issues. We'll wait for him to be back. I think what we're seeing is the faucet with the flow meter, which I was trying to understand how that works. So I'm super happy about that. That was a lucky. Yeah, sorry, Serge, you were cut off at the moment you showed us the faucet.
Must I come back to her?
You cut out a little bit, but I think I got my question answered. Thank you, Serge.
Thank you. Welcome, madam.
So next question from Camilo.
Thank you, Serge. So my question is, besides installing the tank, which I understand is part of the service that you offer, how do you fill up those tanks once that those are installed? Do you have like water tankers that are bringing the water, or is there an existing network? I mean, what else is part of the service besides installing the tanks?
Thank you very much. We have got tankers and a motor pump. We go to take water. We fetch water for people at the lake. We try to purify it with aqua pure, and there is the filter, okay, on the taps, and just we fill the tank with another motor pump, okay, and when it is full, there is an alert, an alarm, which will warn us about the quantity of water that stays in a tank so that it be supplied again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
So I'll very arbitrarily call out a jury which we haven't heard for a while, because I know they all have super interesting takes. Snehal, I haven't heard you for a couple of pitches.
Yeah.
You're up.
I mean, most of the questions were already asked, which were in my mind. Yeah, thank you, Sergey, for the presentation. Could you tell me what is the scale of deployment currently, right, where you're working?
Yeah, I don't catch you well, madam. If you can repeat your question, please.
Where all have you deployed the system currently? Like how many, what's the impact scale that you've worked on?
The impact of this system is what you want to know?
Yes, and where it might currently being used?
Yeah, it is going to be used on the tab, first of all, and it impacts on the way nobody can lie us about how the water has been used while selling the water. Have I been clear answering you?
I get a sense, but thank you.
Yes.
I think we will be moving to the next presentation. I just want to say something here because I feel you. It's not easy to do everything in English in these words. We should do that in French. Shall we switch to French? Moi, ça me va très bien.
Okay, thank you.
The next
Then,
one, yeah, please.
If you want, because we are good at speaking French, and in English we try. Our country is an French-speaking country.
That's what I wanted to underline. At the end of the day, you are working on a local problem, and you are trying to solve that local problem, and it's already amazing that you come pitching in English, and I know how hard it is. If someone wants a reminder, go listen to my first 10 episodes on the podcast, and you'll hear what it is when you're not used to speak another language than yours. I just wanted to say that again. I feel you. And thanks for the great pitch. Let's move to our next and second to last pitch, which is Krustatec. Krustatec. I guess I should take the Spanish accents to pronounce it right. Correct me.
Yes, it's fine. Yes, Krustatec. Thank you.
The scene is yours.
Thank you. So good morning. My name is Maria. I'm the founder of Krustatec, and I will talk you about 3 environmental problems and 1 circular solution. Problem number 1, do you know which will be the fashion color for the next season? Just take a look at the rivers of the world. Most of the rivers and lakes are polluted with textile dyes. And to make it worse, the available technologies as reverse osmosis and electrochemistry are expensive and difficult to operate. Second problem, have you thought what happens after you flush the toilet or after you do your laundry? Well, this water either remains untreated or at the treatment plants, other petroleum-based and toxic chemicals are aid to aid the flocculation. And problem number 3, the seafood industry waste. 40% of a shrimp is waste, and this waste is then disposed into landfills or even next to the rivers, causing pollution. But this waste has a very interesting chemical composition, and by using this waste, we can obtain a polymer that is natural, biodegradable, and non-toxic, and is useful in wastewater treatment. So we have been working on the production of this polymer, the optimization, and developed 2 products, a filter for textile wastewater treatment and a clarifier for general wastewater. The filter is an easy and affordable method especially designed for rural artisans that can be a way to treat their textile wastewater. It's a recirculation filter and absorb the dyes. And the clarifier is highly efficient, is biodegradable, and is non-toxic. So our 2 products aim to prevent the discharge of untreated wastewater into the environment and also prevent the use of these hazardous products during the treatment. We have been recognized by several institutions that allow us to move from the research to an MVP and to the production, but our production batch is still small and we need to acquire larger chemical equipment. Like many other science-based companies, we need funding to scale up and to be able to cover the wastewater treatment market. So yes, at Krustatec, we want to build a circular economy around solid waste and wastewater treatment. Thank you.
Before I give the floor to Alexei, who is the first one to raise his hand, just in 30 seconds, where did you get the idea from to use crustacean as your input?
Well, so the chitosan, that is the biopolymer, is very well known. That is a polymer that has positive charge, so it helps to attract the negative charge in the pollutant. So I studied chemistry. My background is in chemistry, and did a master in materials chemistry. And when I was in my last year of my undergrad, I was looking for these biopolymers, and that's how everything gets into check.
Awesome, Alexi, your turn.
Thank you.
Hi, Maria. Nice presentation.
Hi. Thank you.
A couple of questions. So first of all, have you done any research on your ability to remove PFAs from water? Second question is, do you have any IP? And third question is, what is your grant raising capability like today? Have you had any big grants that you've raised from the EU, for example?
Okay. Yes. So for the research, I haven't worked with PFAS, just with dyes and organic matter, the general wastewater, and have conducted a jar test, making comparison with different synthetic polymers, and the efficiency is very good, like closely to the synthetic ones. Yes, for the intellectual property, I have filed the patent for the filter. This is how the filter looks for the textile wastewater treatment, and the clarifier that this one is just like a commercial secret because you cannot patent the chitosan itself. But what you can protect is the length of the chain of the polymer and different factors in the chain that, for example, a big chain, how it works, or a small chain, and that's what you protect with this. And the patent, it was filed just in here in Guatemala. I'm from Guatemala. And the amount I have grants, and the grant that I have got is around $12 to $14,000 from institutions like Young Water Solutions that helped me to build the prototype, and then Edinburgh Innovations because I study in the University of Edinburgh. Yeah.
We have many questions for you. Fedger, we haven't heard you for a while, so I'll give you priority.
Oh, thank you. So kind of you, Antoine. Really great presentation. I was curious, have you also compared, because this is a new technology, it's innovative, so people always compare it to the existing tech. So in this case, activated carbon is a really common method to also remove dyes and pollutants like that. So if customer was to ask you what's so much better about your tech, how do you pitch it to them, and why should they take your activated carbon, ion exchange resin, the existing treatments?
Okay. Yes. So for the dye, the comparison is that it works differently. For example, with the activated carbon, that works by absorbing, but not like negative, no by charges, just by size of the pores in the carbon. So here is by charge, so it's more efficient in how it absorbs the dyes. And making comparison with the other technologies is easier to, for example, is using with a reverse osmosis or those systems. So this is especially for small producers that need a way to treat the technology. And also, if we are talking about general wastewater, the thing that this has that is biodegradable and natural is that then after the treatment, you have this sludge that can be compostable, or you can do briquettes, and if you use another synthetic polymer, then you have this sludge that you need to treat. So that's advantage over the other flocculants that are synthetic when you are working with general wastewater.
Thank you, Fedger. I'll take Snehal next, and
Hi.
we'll close Amita in a second.
Yeah. Hi, Maria. Thank you so much. Amazing idea. Have you also explored chitosan production from other species, specifically fisheries?
Not yet, because here we have the shrimp farms and a big industry of shrimp farms, and they export the shrimp peel. So we have a lot of these waste, and also I know that is the easiest. For example, we don't have an industry for crab, but also obtaining chitosan from the shrimp shells is an easier process because you have less of the calcium carbonate and those minerals.
Yeah, just a follow-up question. I know my time is over, but so do you have like a supply chain, reverse supply chain buyback, some sort of agreement with them? And also the product that you're developing, is it ex situ or in situ treatment use cases?
Sorry, your last question, I didn't.
Yeah. Is it something that is used in situ in the lake water ecosystem, or is it ex situ currently?
Okay. So yes, we have this. We obtain the raw materials from the local markets and by now the small producers of shrimp. So they collect all of this and they give it to us and we process and everything, because if not, they need to pay for someone to process their waste. And we haven't agreed with the larger companies here because we don't have the capacity right now to obtain all of the raw material, but it's available. So we can start looking for that after increasing our production. And yes, so you use the clarifier mostly in the treatment plants or in the producer, not in the natural environment, but to treat the wastewater in your treatment plant or in your industry.
I'll give you the voice, Namita, in just 1 second. I just have one question just to clarify. They give you the materials for free. They're not paying you to take the materials because they could.
Yes, they could. And maybe at some point that could change. But by now, and we need to get that margin there for that payment. But by now, the small ones are really grateful about someone to take the waste, and they also like to know that they are contributing to something that could.
So far, it's a win-win. Namita, your closing thoughts.
I really enjoyed this. It's such a brilliant solution to use something that's locally wasted in a particular area and kind of reusing it. I really enjoyed it. And you put your education to good use here with chemistry. Just two quick questions. Do you think that the only client for you is the textile industry, or do you think you could use it elsewhere? And secondly, I was curious, what's the incentive for this individual small textile producer to invest in this? Maybe there's a government regulation, right, that requires them to treat.
Okay. Yes. So for your last question, sadly there is no good regulations here. We hope that with this new government, we will have tighter regulations. But the incentive is that they export their products. So the regulations outside, for example, the regulations in Europe are making everything smooth here because they need to comply with a checklist of what are you doing with your waste for the textile companies and also for the shrimp farms. If they want to export to Europe or the United States, they need to comply with it. So the regulations out there are helping us and that we don't have tight regulations. And sorry, the other question.
No, I was just curious if it's only the textile industry, but I think I've run out of time.
Yes, no, you can use it, for example, to color from the industry also. For example, we did some tests with a company that was producing soluble coffee, and they had this problem with color. So it's biodegradable, and then you can compost your process.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I will have to cut you because we are at the end of the time, but I think we would have many more questions, which I think is a good sign. Again, for the People's Choice Award, Nine's team with Krusta Tech. And we move to our last one for these first series of pitches, and that's Donate Water. Who will be our speaker for Donate Water?
Hi, Solomon.
Hi.
Solomon.
Welcome. Hi, Solomon. And
Hi.
the scene is yours.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. This is Donate Water. Thank you for the opportunity. While we were growing up as children, we suffered from too little water. We would walk for miles and distance with our mothers in search of water. There were no limits to the number of water trips we were making per day. There were cases where we were completely absent from school, and there were also other cases where we would go late to school because of these issues, and while in the process facing other risks as well. And that went on, but help never came. But now, after a couple of research, we understand why help didn't come. Apparently, there's a huge gap between the nationally reported aggregated data on many SDG indicators and the local reality that people face. And so we saw a need to localize the SDG indicators, right, in order to be able to track, monitor, and report effectively on them. And so we innovated Donate Water. Donate Water is a mobile smart solution that combines citizen science, tokenization, technology, and crowdsourcing methodology in order to collect evidence-based data, real-time data on specific SDG indicators, in our case, water and gender inequalities. And so we have a large network of youths and citizens who collect data on a regular basis on water sources and water points across several rural communities in Nigeria. We also believe that Donate Water has the potential to officially report on specific SDG indicators, for example, maybe sanitation and hygiene. And so Donate Water is aiming to be a large data warehouse, open data warehouse of geospatial data, mixed with all the sources and components of data where any stakeholders globally can go to and rely on for making decisions. And we believe this data will be of great value to governmental and non-governmental bodies, local and international agencies, to use our data, our reliable data, for policy inclusion, decision-making for development, and also for tracking maybe the SDG goal towards the 2030 and 2050 global goals. And we believe also that for private sectors, they can use our data in order to sort of design their specific corporate social responsibility, towards water provision, and also maybe be able to get brand awareness for the companies. We also believe that private sectors can use our data to sort of design specific sort of products, sustainable products for specific communities. And so we're asking for support in resources, technologies, and possibly funds for us to be able to build more capacity and scale to be able to cover the rest of Nigeria, and also perhaps move into sub-Saharan Africa, where we feel that there's also a need to localize some of these SDG indicators for proper tracking. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And after that pitch, I'm turning my head to the jury to see who wants to go first. Snehal, you're the number one.
Hi, Solomon. Really cool pitch. You captured a very key pain point. Can you tell me, when you say like you're making data accessible, what different types of data are we looking at, and how are you collecting it to begin with? And is there a standard that you're following right now?
Okay, thank you. Apparently, Donate Water went through a couple of research and a couple of tests period where we even sort of collaborated with the NSO indicators that we're supposed to be collecting data on, in order to be able to also measure according to what UNICEF or what World Bank or what the global NSOs were looking for. And so we sort of collecting data that has a combination of water sources, or the water points, both managed and unmanaged water sources, with a component of geospatial coordinate data, where you can basically tell where specific water sources are, their state, and also maybe monitor water quality as well as part of that information, and some other component information that has to do with gender inequalities. So the way we're collecting it is that we have a mobile app, a mobile solution. There is a mobile solution called Donate Water. Basically, it uses tokenization also to be able to incentivize our youths, local youths and citizens, in all across Nigeria, for them to volunteer and download the application on their mobile phones, and they go around their communities or any community to be able to report this data. And then we'll talk about open access to the data. We're already in talks with CERN to be able to have some of this bystander data warehouse, where you usually can have a database of open data that can be used by both researchers and non-researchers, and maybe even government agencies as well.
Any follow-up, Snell, or give the
Yeah, I think I would let the other panel member take it.
Arrow, you go next.
Solomon, one thing that every time I hear the word incentives around water, I think that there's an opportunity there. So can you clarify or a little bit more about how, when you talk about tokenization, what are you tokenizing, what are you measure? Do you have off-takers who are paying for the incentives? A little bit of, if there is a bigger picture around the model that you have and how you're incentivizing this process.
Okay, thank you. So apparently, for the couple of, Donate Water is basically just 2 years old. I think it's important that I mention that. And so during all the time, we've had support from YOMA Operational Research, and also with some other local or social network for youth, social good here in Nigeria, for example, Goodwill, and YOMA platform as well, which is also owned by our labs in South Africa. So we've had support from them over the years. And so I think also with support from Botner Foundation, that's how we've been able to sort of raise some sort of a bit of funds for the tokenization and the incentives that we've been given for the number of data and the number of places we covered so far. And so, but some of the problem is basically being able to scale. We are unable to scale and also to be able to cover, because apparently trying to cover the entire Nigeria in terms of water points and water sources is quite a huge task, So and that's why we're thinking, okay, in order for us to scale, we might need some other external support to come in here. So there's apparently we've gone through from the idea point to the test point to the research point. And also currently we're speaking to UNICEF Nigeria for them to be able to also, because they see the potential in this application for them to be able to report on sanitation and hygiene, especially maybe in the northern side of Nigeria. So we're also having talks with them in order to be able to go through the test phase for them in order to use the app and see what how that can work for them as well.
The closing question will come from Nathan.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a very, very cool pitch, as Sunal just said. Coming from a data science background myself, we need these data sources. They're actually very important if we're just gonna build policies, build tools. So I went on your app. My understanding, it says you can earn rewards to spend, which I think you said is the tokenization, and shop all over the world. So how do I, spend the money that I earn through the?
Okay, that's a very good question. So the way it works is, so for example, like I also mentioned that there is a token economy or tokenization. We usually call it token economics, which is being supported by blockchain, which is also plugged into the Donate Water solution. And so what that means is that we give people, we reward them in forms of token, maybe like what is currently referred to as maybe like crypto, of course, so, but then not really the traditional crypto, of course. So but then there's a token, which we usually see in their wallet, in the mobile application, which is for Donate Water. And from there, they can initiate a transfer. They usually need a wallet on Brave browser, an external wallet where they can transfer that to. And once they transfer that to, they can convert that to a voucher. So we also have partnership with SureGift. SureGift is one of the people who who sort of are able to issue vouchers for whatever token that any of our participants earn. Okay, so they're able to convert that to vouchers, and they can take that voucher back to maybe several stores or several grocery stores all over Nigeria, both around them and whatever else, to be able to use that to buy whatever it is they like. So in the future also, we're looking for an opportunity for them to be able to also convert those vouchers into an actual money, because we have a large community, as I mentioned earlier, and we usually go back to the community, which are a lot of youth and citizens, for feedback in order for us to improve, and because we've seen a need for also the possibility for them to be able to convert to money as well, because they tend to say that, okay, there's a cost that comes to them gathering this data, going to different communities to be able to gather this data, for us. So yeah, that's how it's being used.
Okay, I'm gonna go real quick on my second question because I see two more hands raised. So my second question was, I saw the kind of user-facing part of your application, but in terms of the data you're collecting, I didn't get to see any website open data portal. Is this something you're working on currently?
Okay, beautiful. So because the pitch is quite short, so I think I wouldn't be able to, but now that you asked, I think I should talk about it. So there is a front end and there is a back end, right? So, and the back end is it's a very robust dashboard, right? So, and also, I also should mention that there is kind of like I have different departments when it comes to the network. So there is a department we call validators. Because we understand that maybe like a couple of months ago, we were at the Copenhagen Citizen Data Framework meeting. And so we're also going through some of the things that make citizen data quite inclusive for decision making in government, right? In nowadays. And so we understood that part of the reason why any NSO should be able to depend on the data is how valid that data is, and if it's going through certain checks, and stuff like that. And so we have a validating team who validate this data from the backend. So we have a backend, a dashboard, where we see all the data that comes in, and we have validating teams who validate each of the data to confirm that it sort of matches with the specific things we're looking for in terms of the indicators that we are monitoring.
Thank you. I think Anton is making.
It's super interesting. I'm sure you will have follow-up discussions because there would have been more questions, but I have to cut them short. I'm sorry about that. We are arriving at the end of the pitches for the first session, and it's also time for you to vote for the People's Choice Award. So the link is in every chat, and you're going to have it here as well. It's very easy. You go to Slido, you give the code number, or you scan the QR code. That works like a charm as well, and you will be able to vote. As we are a bit tight on time, what I will do is that I will not stop the poll at the end of the session. You will have a bit more time to vote for it. And as I want us to up the ante, the company which will be winning that People's Choice Award, as they won't have the time to come on the live to discuss what they just did, I would propose them to have them on my podcast as a guest. Then we can explore in a bit more depth. You don't have 10 minutes, you have 1 hour, and we can go into everything you just started sharing here. So that's the ante I'm adding here. It's up to you. You can really pick your favorite teams among the 10 we just saw. And I propose to give the scene right now to Namita as the sponsor of the full event, to give your informed feeling after that first wave of 10 pitches. I think you will be with us for the next 10 as well. So what is your feeling right now?
Oh my gosh, I don't think I have words. I really don't think I have words. I'm so inspired by each one of the presentations. I just feel like there's so much talent, there's so much ingenuity in converting a challenge that a person feels in a particular context and converting that into sort of a smart idea. And then not just about taking that idea from an idea to a prototype of what that product might look like, and then all the way to actually a business proposition. I really feel that I mean I just feel so inspired by these young people. And I think some of the questions that we were all asking were more out of ourselves trying to understand what was going on in these wonderful brains and minds of these young people. And there's like, for each one of them, I felt like there was a lot of potential to take it to scale. Like, what would the world look like if some of these ideas went to scale? I also want to see if Camilo wants to jump in and share any additional thoughts. I just feel extremely inspired. That's all I want to say, actually.
Camilo, just before you take the microphone, I will add one element, which is they would do great to the world if they came to scale, as you just said, Namita. Maybe if you can just also highlight how you will help them to go to scale for the selected ones. And then on top of that, you can bring your thoughts.
Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, we won't be able to take all these ideas to the next stage. We'll take half of them. But I also think that what happened during the session, so there, of course, is the direct support. Our initiative will give some of them. That of course, is the immediate thing. But I also think that a lot of things happened during the session, like, you mentioning something, Antoine, about how you would connect with a couple of them later on your podcast, or Alexei mentioning another idea, saying, let's connect offline. So I think there are some of these things that are going to happen organically, that you never know where there might be a connection that would help take these ideas to scale. So it's not just us, but I think it's this whole collection of partners that's around the table here. Camilo?
Thank you, Namita. Thank you, Anton. Yeah, I think that it was very inspiring, this session. I think that it only reinforces the conversation that we've been having internally about the need of bringing in more young people to the water sector, right? So the water sector we see is going through a challenge. So there is lots of people retiring from the sector, and the sector is not managing to attract and retain young talent. So I think that by doing this type of exercises, we are reinforcing that idea that indeed there is a lot of talent out there. We just need to make an effort to start attracting them to the sector. So I think that what we saw here today are indeed fantastic ideas, fantastic business models, fantastic ways of improving the water sector at real scale. I think that, when we talk about the challenges that we are living in the sector, so it's either too much, it's too little, it's too polluted, is the water mismanaged. So I think that we do need thousands of ideas to come in, and unfortunately, once that you get into the sector, once that you have worked in a water utility, in a government, or in the broader sector for 10 or 15 years, you just try to get into this cycle of keep on repeating what was done before. So I think that this is what we need to do more, right? So we have done, this is the first time that we do this type of challenge at scale, thanks to the partnership that was done between two groups internally at the bank. We have done this for 3 consecutive years, and every time that we do it, we see that we're evolving. We see that there is more and more people willing to support. There's more people willing to get into the water sector and trying to find solutions for the current challenges. I think, Antoine, I'm probably anticipating your question. I think that what we need to do from the bank is probably just keep on supporting these youth agendas, right? So unfortunately, it's not that the bank can directly engage or hire or support any of these fantastic ideas, but we do have the convening power. We do have the possibility of supporting these teams. We also have expertise internally at the bank, so we can always do this match between the entrepreneurs and the specialist experts at the bank. We can also mobilize our global knowledge to try to support them and strengthen that effort that they are doing at this point. Thank you so much, Antoine.
I think we have to close for now, because David, who's behind the scene and who's really the one bringing us on scene and making all of that happen, needs to try to solve some technical stuff for the second session, because we are only on YouTube right now, and it's a pity because we want to touch the LinkedIn folks as well. So we will have to close that session. Thanks a lot for all the one attending. Thank you to all the jury. Thank you to the ones which will not be with us in the next session. And I'm looking forward to share a second session with the ones which are staying with us. I see that the votes are rolling for the People Choice Award. Keep them rolling. I will keep it open for, let's say, half an hour, something like that. And with that said, thanks a lot everybody for attending. We will close that live, but stay in your seat. You can have a bio break, take something to drink, take something to eat, come back at your seat. And we are live for another 2 hours for the session number 2 with 10 new entrepreneurs. See you in just a minute.
Thank you, Antoine.